I've been in quarantine for about a month now. Yeah. And I think I've finally figured out the tricks to this whole productivity thing. So if you need help staying productive, stay tuned, watch this video. Dylan, cue the intro. What's up? My name is Alyssa. I'm a writer, editor, full-time 9-to-5 employee, and I just recently opened up my own publishing company. Here on this channel, I talk about tips, mindsets, tricks, tools, all those sorts of things to help you become a successful authorpreneur. And today, we're talking about productivity in quarantine because, my gosh, it's a little hard. It's been a little bit of a struggle. I don't know where you're living, but in California, stuff started shutting down middle of March, and my work officially went remote about a week before things had to officially shut down. So I've been home for like a month, and I think I've only gone to the outside like 3 or 4 times, something like that. It's been crazy. So, and by crazy I mean crazy uneventful, not crazy in the eventful sort of way. So yeah, I've had a little bit of time to kind of adjust to this new way of living and figure out how the heck do you still stay productive when your whole life is confined to a house. So I'm going to share those top 5 tips right now. Okay, so tip number 1 is morning routine. I think I talked about this in my Stay Positive video, maybe. I don't remember exactly. I'll put that up in the cards. But yeah, morning routine is everything. There has been a distinct difference in my day when I started intentionally doing things that fill me up. For me, that includes journaling, making my cup of coffee. It starts really the night before, getting 8 hours of sleep, which hasn't been happening. I need to figure out a night routine still. But starting the day very intentionally is so different than starting the day by looking at your phone. And this is kind of true even before quarantine happened, but especially now, I've noticed that I will be more tempted to start scrolling on my phone first thing when I wake up. Almost, I think it's as a distraction. I'm trying to mentally distract myself from the reality that I'm living in by looking at other people's, but it's very draining. Even if it's not bad news, still looking at the screen, consuming content instead of being the one to be creative first thing in the morning is such a productivity drain. Yeah, it's a productivity drain. Words are still a little confusing sometimes. So yeah, getting really intentional with the morning routine, starting the day off on your terms as opposed to someone else's terms is huge in keeping up the energy that you'll need to get through the rest of the day all alone. Tip number 2 is to have a weekly accountability call. This is something that I started doing about 3 weeks ago now with one of my good friends and mentors. Thank you, Fiona. If you watch this, you saved my life. But yeah, having a weekly accountability call with someone, it's just a good way to make sure that you stay on track with the things that you want to stay on track with. So if you have goals that you want to get done, and if there are things that you know you still need to accomplish during this time when we are all confined up into our own little spaces, tell someone about it and have a time specifically scheduled with that person so that you know that no matter what happens, they're not there to judge you, but they're there to nudge you, they're there to encourage you, they're there to help give you advice when you need it so that you can stay on track and don't fall into the black hole of oppressive doom that seems to be running rampant in the media and culture at large right now. Get someone on your side who's positive, who can help build you up, and who you talk to on a weekly basis at a specified time, so that you know that no matter what happens during the week, you have that call with them and they're there looking out for you. Tip number 3, create an exercise routine. And I think this is something that I also talked about in the Staying Positive video, but has been so crazy helpful for me. Moving your body, being active right now is so important because we're not going out and doing as much as we used to do. But our bodies are still designed to move, they're still designed to be active, we are still designed to use them. So if anything, I think since being quarantined, I probably exercise a lot more now. It's a good way to get out that kind of pent up energy, negative energy specifically, and it's a good way to help rewire your brain and stay positive. And not only this, I've discovered that kind of showing discipline and keeping a regular exercise routine with your body helps develop the discipline in your mind. So if you can stay physically disciplined, your mind is more likely to be mentally disciplined and staying focused on the things that you want to focus on. So it's really helpful for that. And, you know, in addition to releasing like happy endorphin type things and whatnot, I've already talked about that before. It's just good all around, but it's especially important right now. Tip number 4 is to take walks outside. I don't know about you, I'm a huge introvert. I actually was really surprised the first 2 weeks of quarantine at how easy it was for me to stay indoors, like disconcertingly easy. I didn't even go out to my backyard or like anything. I stayed inside. Sometimes I would crack open a window. But after about 2 weeks of that, of literally not going outside at all, I realized that I was starting to feel a lot more down. I'm an INTJ on the Myers-Briggs, and so kind of processing emotions is a little bit difficult for me. But I can tell when I'm starting to feel stressed out because my body will start manifesting it. I will start being more sluggish. There's just like this overwhelming feeling of blah, whatever that emotion is. And so this was actually something I started doing because of Fiona, my accountability call partner. She's also helping me with business mentorship and whatnot. She's a lot of things. Anyway, rambling. She suggested taking 30-minute walks every single day outside, and that has helped so much, to the point where if I skip a day going on a 30-minute walk, okay, one day is fine. I've skipped one day before and it's been okay. But if I skip 2 days, it is like an immediate, I feel like so much lower energy. It's a lot harder for me to do things besides lay down in my bed and not think about anything. So taking walks outside for 30 minutes, I do like 20 to 30 minutes, but I've got a really big hill, so sometimes 30 minutes is too much. Helps a lot with the productivity for the rest of the day. And then tip number 5 is to have a specific either like Google Doc or journal or something where you write down all of the creative ideas. I know some people have said, I've heard both. I've heard people feeling a lot less creative, and I've heard people are feeling a lot more creative. Me personally, I have been overflowing with creative ideas, and the first couple weeks, it was driving me crazy. Like, I felt like I just had all these things floating around my head. I had no idea what to do with them, and I was kind of starting to shut me down. It was overwhelmed, and it was like I had so much that I didn't know how to deal with it, or like it was taking up too much mental space. And so I started writing everything down. I have a Google Doc with a bunch of different goals and things, and one of the sections on the Google Doc is called ideas, and I write down literally everything that's coming to my brain. There's a lot of innovative ideas, there's a lot of story ideas, but I think during times, I know that during times where there's a lot of struggle and where there's a lot of pressure, these are the moments when we can come out with some of the most creative, innovative ideas. I know there's been a lot of memes going on social media about how like Uber and all these other types of things were started during the recession in 2008. And culture is going to shift so much after this is over, and you know, we can have ideas during this time that will help innovate society and make things better and help people in new ways. And if you have any ideas like that, or even if it's just like book ideas or anything, write them down so that you can remember them later. And it also frees up your brain space to do the day-to-day to do the day-to-day things that you know you need to do. So yes, those are the things. Those are my top 5 tips for staying productive during quarantine. I might do a part 2 to this if quarantine continues much longer. I don't know. I still for sure do not have it down perfectly. There's still days. This last weekend, actually, Friday and Saturday were really tough for me. Just emotionally, I guess. I was feeling very low energy. But in general, these 5 tips have helped me so much with adjusting to this new indoor way of life. It's not really new for me. I didn't go outdoors much before, but it's an increased way of indoor living, I suppose. I don't know. I had the words in my brain to eloquently describe this, and as soon as my mouth tried to say them, they were gone. So I'm much better at writing than I am at talking. But yeah, that's what I have. If you have any productivity tips that have helped you during this time of quarantine, please drop them down in the comments, because I'm still looking for new things to try out. I'm sure other people are too, so I would love to hear what you're doing and just how you're doing in general. I know this is a really tough time for a lot of people, so let me know how you're hanging in there down in the comments. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to receive weekly videos on how to develop the proper habits, mindsets, tools, tricks, etc. to become a successful authorpreneur, go ahead and subscribe. Videos will be going up every Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time.